Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Havilland DHC-6 and we are flying for Fly UK, or specifically their Aurora subsidiary. And I think the name of this one is Twin Otter, right? Yeah, that's the one. The Havilland DHC-6 Twin Otter. There we go. Had to go to Wikipedia to confirm. I have flown this one, I think, once before on this channel. I've done a couple of flights with this one over the years, but not as many as I would like, and I don't kind of know the cockpit as much as I would want to. Luckily, it does come with a pretty good checklist, even though it is a bit tiny, I would say. If you make it larger, it becomes almost unreadable. And I think I've been able to get the RXP GTN integrated into it, otherwise it just has the default GPS, but we'll see once we get started. And I've also... now I'm not sure actually. I think I added PBR to it, but possibly not. Doesn't really matter, it looks pretty decent anyway. And I actually think there we have another... the Havilland, I think that's the Turbo Otter, right? Possibly. And then this one is supposed to be, I guess, some derivative of this. Maybe the 100 version, this is the 300. And this is a Saab, I think, the Pacific Coastal one. But yeah, for those of you with a keen eye, you'll notice that we are located at Vancouver Airport. We are at the General Aviation stands. Interestingly enough, that one has parked inside of the other aircraft. Looks a bit funny. And we're going to do a short flight down to an airport called Bouverman. Not sure how to pronounce that. Doesn't really matter. But it's a tiny general aviation airport. And let me show you. Actually, I'm going to import the flight plan to Pilot 30C. And that should enable you guys to get a better view of it. But yeah, here's where we start. Here's how we're flying, avoiding the hills here, it seems, and then coming down here. And it's kind of a beautiful location, this one here. Just at the kind of a natural, or is this a built kind of harbor? Not sure. Actually, not a specialist in that regard, but at least a kind of protected area here, and then you get the Pacific Ocean, right? So very cool. It's gonna be some nice views. We won't really see Seattle though, because we're not really going there, but we'll see some of this archipelago. And I think doing some test flights here with the kind of what would you call them, seaports. I guess it reminds me a lot of the archipelago in Finland and Sweden. Mainly Finland, which is where I spend most of my time, but this kind of area. Not really comparable, but quite close. I guess you also have something similar here around northeastern US, right? Something similar to that sort of an archipelago. But yeah, that's the flight we're doing, and we are not going to be using any Sky or Luke Air Tool, etc. I do hope we get I'm not sure we will get though any sort of landing rate. That's going to be a bit of a bummer, but I mean, who cares? Maybe that's good. We don't have to stress about landing rate. Not always correct anyway. But yeah, into the aircraft. This is pretty nice looking. It's an Aerosoft model. It's P3D version 4 native, but it works flawlessly in P3D version 5. Only thing that's missing is the kind of rain effect stuff, which I don't think this one has ever had. It's interesting, this one, because you have the throttles up here, right? Which is quite quite different, to be honest. In terms of getting everything started, I think... let me check the flaps. They should be on 0. I will try to follow the checklist. Let me see, do I have to it seems like I might have to put those in myself. So now the question is, how do we get all of these locks out of the way? Maybe it comes automatically. I don't know, wait, I'm just gonna try to, maybe I can make it a bit bigger, the manual. Yeah, okay, you can make it a bit bigger if you push it downwards. It's not too bad. I'm gonna keep it on my other screen. But I guess the control locks, we want to get rid of those. The question is how we do that in a good way. But we can maybe start, I'm gonna assume, because you have like all this check fire handle in, etc. Emergency fuel switch to normal. I'm pretty sure you have most up here. And if we're talking about the, well, here we have the lights, fasten seat belt, de-ice, anti-ice lights, the general kind of ones. Strobes here. You even have some circuit breakers, non-functional though. Open for the bus tie. So yeah, maybe not here actually. Let's see, on this side we have external and battery. So you can switch between. I'm gonna assume that's gonna make the battery kick alive. So that's nice. And that gives us external. So it's a bit weird because you don't really have any external or any sort of visual cue that you have something. Doesn't seem to be anything you can add either. Let me though double check. We have some general data, etc. But yeah, nothing in that regard. We have our flight or our GPS here, and I think this one we can set up first. It's not a 5.3, I think this is a 650 or something, but it's kind of easy to get it to function within the other one. I've been meaning to get a 5.3 at some point, so let's see when I get that, but hopefully at some point soon. We'll also have to contact ATC, which I think we should do quite early on, just make sure we get everything correct, because we don't have a SID or a star. So I'm just gonna validate. We're gonna be flying at 9,000 feet, so not a long or not a high altitude flight. The main reason for that is because we're not pressurized. So let me connect to the sim. And one thing I need to remember with this one is to be very careful with the percentage on the throttle, etc. I've had multiple times where I managed to kill the engines. And that's a bit of a bummer, right? When you have done all the startup stuff and you're up in the air, and then it's, yeah, then you mess up. So let's try to avoid that if possible.
Temperature 12, dew point 11. Current altimeter is 2954.
2954.
Arriving and departing runway 08
quite
right,
a low
08
altimeter.
left.
Vancouver International Airport information Mike, 700 local winds are 053 at 4 knots. Visibility unrestricted.
There we go. That
3000
was the
overcast.
and look at
Temperature
this
12, dew point 11.
this yoke.
Current
Quite
altimeter is
interesting, kind of
2954.
connected.
Arriving
other
and
in the
departing
middle.
runway 08 right, 08 left.
Let's switch to the IFR clearance. Let's change also our settings so it knows what we're able to fly and what we are not. We can do King Air. I think that's a pretty okay profile. We can fly most things.
Air Canada 7110, Toronto clearance, cleared to Calgary by the Aerosoft 3 departure, Kazid transition.
Okay, let's see.
Flight plan route.
Fly UK 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. Okay, let's see.
Runway 05, squawk 6302.
Skyways 4003 is cleared to Kilo Hotel Quebec Mike. Fly the Stanley 5 departure then as filed. Expect departure runway 08 right. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2
Okay,
minutes
so the
after
Stanley
departure.
5
Vancouver departure on
departure.
126.12. Squawk 3640.
Nothing too weird with that. I think that makes sense. It's a very easy kind
Skyways
of departure. Just a
4003
turn
is
here.
cleared to Kilo Hotel Quebec Mike. Fly the Stanley 5 departure then as filed. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure.
Yeah, there we go.
Vancouver departure on 126.12. Squawk 3640.
Then IVR is going to be our first real waypoint.
Skyways 4003 read back correct. Altimeter 2954.
After IVR,
Contact Vancouver ground on 127.15.
we're
When ready for
flying,
pushback, enjoy your morning.
Airways.
Altimeter 2954. Ground on 127.15. Skyways
Condi.
4003.
Then from Condi we're flying another airway 495 to Diggin. And let's see if we have it here. There we go. And then we're flying 165 to Caro. And then from Caro we're flying 127 to ULES. And then from ULES, let me see, I think we just went past it. It's gonna be a direct to Boverman.
Just wondering if you'd be able to make it a little memorable for us. Okay, what's the name? First name Dave, last name Urion.
Let me see.
URI0N.
Not arrival, but approach. Let's do the ILS. Yeah, with vectors, because we don't know what we'll get. So that should be our flight plan. You can see it looks very similar to what we had on the display in Pilot to ADC. And then here I guess it's gonna be the vectoring part. Okay, good. So control locks, parking brakes, fire handles should be fine. We have about 15 minutes until we should go. Emergency fuel switches should be normal. These ones, we can do a test here. Making sure those work. Fuel selector, normal. And let me see, can you hide this huge chunky wheel somehow? Maybe. Maybe not. Or the yoke, that's the name. Let me just check here. Pitot heat. Do we have the navigation? We have the starter here. We have the props. They are on feather and the fuel is off. The windshield wipers are on the right. Just making sure I know where everything is. The flight recorder. Let's put that on. Pretty sure we're gonna want to have that available. Boost pump off, static vent fan off, inverter switch, select 1 or 2. And the question is, what's the inverter?
Jazz 946, lane 6 and beam 135 for now.
It's not down there either. And this is just, I'm gonna guess, the meter selector, not the inverter itself. The vent fan, that should be off. Nothing here. Static, that should be on normal. Fuel selector, we'll have to tweak these ones, I think, for the start. Funnily enough, these are off actually. We can put them on. I mean, we are talking to ATC, right? So And let's actually, before we see if we can find an inverter, just put in our squawk. It was 3640. 3640. Okay, anti-collision lights and all of that should go on. Oh wait, if you right click on that you can get it to switch. Let me check which one it switches. Maybe it's not possible to tweak it after it's switched. It's definitely not the strobe one. Nothing here. Here's the anti-collision. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so now if I... Yeah, okay, that's cool. So if you right click on the checklist, you can get it to do the things. So bleeder switches, you can hear that no clicking, doing pitot heat, generator, bus tie switch, that's on a normal, flap handle, up, fuel levers off, prop levers on feather, full forward or feather. Okay, well I guess it's full forward in this case. Power levers, idles, off, landing lights, ignition master, that's down here, right? DC master. I guess we can switch to battery, right? Yeah, okay, switch to battery. Okay, that's the fire test. Let's see what else. Fire bell mute on and then off. Let's see if we can find that button. Is it up here somewhere maybe? If it's like a muting one. It doesn't seem to be.
Pushback face west and expect runway 24 right for departure.
Okay, but I mean, it's gonna look fine, I think. Do we have to change so we get the fuel from any specific? Nothing like that. Hey, what do we have up here? Here's the inverter, look at that. The things you found or find. So where do we see the fuel quantity? We have quite low on this one. Quite a bit on that one.
So we'll be holding a push.
Rouge 1814, roger. Clearance is cancelled. Call me back.
We'll call you back, 1814.
I'm not certain actually about the fuel system. Is it like auxiliary tanks connected to? Because the thing I'm wondering is, because I set it up through the normal in-game one, if it's, you know, wrongly set up, if that's gonna have any effect. Because we only have this fuel quantity and this one. Could be fine, of course. Aft and forward. We'll notice, I guess, as we get going. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. Crossfeed check. Booster pumps on. Boat on forward. And I'm actually gonna check quickly here. It's these tip ones that I don't think we need to have actually. Let's remove those. And then we go lower on these ones. Like 76 maybe. And then we have kind of what we want to have. Good. Fuel selector, both on aft. Not sure where the actually the tip, the pumps on the tip are shown. Sometimes they have like a different. Yeah, here's the ones, and then you would move these to use them. Okay, boost switches, boost pumps off, fuel selector normal, emergency pumps on, off, off. Boost pumps check, forward, test, checked. Okay, engine start. So, fuel levers off, prop levers full forward as we have them, power levers idle, the boost pumps we want to do forward and aft, so put those on. The start switch, and we want to start with engine on the right, so this one. And let me see, do you need the master? Does that come? No, that's the DC master, it's on. So we'll do the right one. Is it starting now, or am I?
C4130V Hawker, that's exiting Echo will give way.
What about ignition? Okay, let me see. So that would be the right. Okay, there we go. We have a good start. Okay. So fuel lever on. Prop lever to the right, full forward. Start lever, engine left. So let's get the left engine started as well. And then the fuel lever, we can move that. Prop lever full forward. Generator left and right. That's gonna be up here, right? And let's see if we switch this. Yeah, they both go to on. Okay, after engine, we gotta check the compass and gyros, caution lights, altimeter and clocks, taxi signs. Oh, actually we didn't check for engine start, so I fail in that regard. Skyways 4003, ready for pushback. And that didn't take, so we'll have our co-pilot do it.
Ground. Skyways 4003 ready for pushback.
Skyways 4003 pushback approved.
And let me see, taxi checks.
Skyways 4003.
We want to have the taxi light. You have some beta checks as well to check, but I don't think we'll do those checks just to speed things up a bit. Brakes. You can release them. Just check nose wheel steering. I think. Was there any specific, or was it just to kick the? Here you have the beta range tests. Here's the fire bell mute switch, by the way. So I kind of missed it. Yeah, we're fine. The gyros will be fine. Run up check, parking brake. Yeah. Okay, looking good. Let's get the 08 right. Is pretty close to where we're at. So let's get that taxi clearance as well and see if they can give us a good route.
Ground. Skyways 4003 ready to taxi.
Let's check the lights here. The position light. I think that should have been on quite a long time ago. Strobe lights as well, but we can wait with that.
Taxi to runway 08 right via taxiways 1, Alpha, Delta,
Great,
Hotel, Echo,
not
Bravo,
having
Hotel,
closed the doors.
Charlie, Lima, hold short runways 26 left, 08 right, 1 tree.
Okay, it's a bit
08
of an
right.
interesting taxi route, but let's follow it because it does, I think, help
Taxi
with
to runway 08,
avoiding
right
bugs.
via taxiways 1, Alpha, Delta, Hotel, Echo, Bravo, Hotel, Charlie,
I'm gonna
Lima.
just check
Hold
what
short
else.
runways 26
There's so many
left,
tests you can do:
08
auto
right,
feather, anti-ice
1 tree,
systems before
08
takeoff.
right skyways 4003.
I'm gonna set the trim tabs already, so have that set automatically by the. I think this is the one where you trim the flaps. I'm gonna do those at 10 degrees. So let's have a look. I think that should be. I'm gonna check if we have a flap. Something that shows us the flap setting here.
Air Canada 407, roger, and expect the runway
Doesn't
24
seem
right.
like it, but okay.
Okay, we
That seems to be 10. Flight instruments check. Radio set. Propeller levers full forward. Yeah, that's set. Auto feather. Let's put that on so we don't have to do it later. Engine instruments checked. Bleed. Air left and right as required. De-ice. And the bleed must also be up here, right? In terms of our altitude, we were clear to 6,000 feet, so it's gonna be relatively smooth in that regard, that we're almost going up to our cruising altitude. Transponder, I'm gonna put that on just so we don't have to do it later, even though it's a bit early. Okay, so everything is set up. We are kind of on schedule. I am gonna release the parking brake and then get us moving. Not really sure how we taxi out of here. I think to the left we have a is that the what do they call it? Beechcraft 1900? What Pacific Coastal? Okay. Okay, let's see now. Okay, we're gonna add a bit of thrust. And is this
Air Canada 407, taxi for the ice.
okay, let's see, we're adding a bit of thrust. Are we getting moving? I'm basically wondering if I would guess the nose wheel steering is a specific switch, right? For some reason it doesn't seem. Let me go to the outside view and check. Yeah, okay, it's working. That's good. My main question was if there's any specific switch for the nose wheel, but I don't seem to find anything to indicate there would be one. Vent fan, etc. No, nothing there. So I think we should be okay. Let's taxi. Bit annoying though that it is animated. That's cool. It's also animated if you're using the rudder though, so that's a bit less cool, but okay. At least we know that now. I think this pneumatic low pressure is gonna be on for the time being. Not sure we need the boost pumps while taxiing, to be honest. Could be wrong, but I don't think you do usually have those. Gonna decrease the torque a bit. Let me see if I have any good viewpoints. Nothing too spectacular, unfortunately. But okay, it should be fine. We have another Pacific Coastal coming in here, so it seems like there's a lot of traffic to this GA. I'm not sure though, it seems to be stuck. Or maybe it's taxiing very slowly though. We'll avoid it. for the sake of both of us, go a bit off course. Get back on the taxiway. There's a really beautiful Orbix airport. Now I don't remember it by heart, but it's the one a bit north of Vancouver. I think it goes under the name of. Let me check quickly here. It's the. God damn, it doesn't have a name, but it's near Brackendale. Paradise Valley, Squamish. I think Squamish Airport, something like that. Looks very nice. So I'm probably gonna get that if I get my orbs enough up in terms of numbers. Why did we stop? Oh, it's maybe just a bit fickle in terms of getting moving. Okay, but we are moving again. I'm also using my separate EFB, my hardware one. So we won't be seeing any chart. I mean, technically we can put it up here with the RXP GTN, but we're not gonna. Well, that was a bit too
Skyways
twisty.
4003 cross, runway 26 left.
Okay, we got clearance
Cleared
to
to cross runway 26 left. Skyways 4003.
I'm gonna put on the landing lights one as we're crossing.
Skyways 4003 cross, runway 26 left.
Cleared to cross runway 26 left.
Yeah, let's
Skyways
check here. You gotta be a bit careful with the
4003.
braking on this one, because it seems to kind of kill any momentum you have going with the taxiing. Maybe realistic, I'm not sure, but something to keep in mind. Because then it gets taxiing really quickly. I'm gonna pull back a bit on the throttles again. Try to maintain a somewhat steady taxiing, but it feels quite the opposite, to be honest. Okay. Okay, let's see. We're gonna be turning not on this one, but the next one after this one. We'll be turning to the left. So we're basically crossing most of the runways at this airport, funnily enough. And now we didn't start the chronometer. I just realized. I think you can.
Okay, 2986 behind Transat is Echo and Bravo, Rouge 1814.
Let me actually see. There we go. Okay. Here we have some nice Air Canada different types of planes. Okay, we're doing a left turn here. And now it's not long. It's a bit over half of the taxiing done. And we are using once again the volumetric clouds. We seem to have a bit of an overcast, so not really the nicest look, but it will do, I guess. Let's cross this runway. And this is runway. Let me check which one is this. 13.
Ground. Skyways 4003 waiting to cross runway 13.
No clue why they haven't given us. Is anyone coming in for landing, or am I? Seems like I'm being held for no reason. The FPS fluctuates quite a bit actually, that's interesting. Okay, let's just taxi through this. Sometimes they kind of forget to give you 2 crossing clearances, unfortunately. Just the name of the game with Pilot to ADC. So not the best, but not the worst either. Talking about that actually, and having things not be the best. What's the Simbrief flight plan showing us in terms of the weather? Nothing crazy in terms of any, CBs or anything like that. So that's good. But what about the destination weather? Overcast with 700 feet. Now I don't want to be pessimistic, but I didn't check this before. So if we're doing the ILS, we have a 200 feet. Okay, so we should be fine. The minimums aren't bad enough to have us not go there, but it's not the best. Okay, let's see now. Okay, we're moving again. And let's see what kind of takeoff clearance we get. I'm gonna already bring up also the checklist just to make sure. Flight controls, they seem to be free. Transponder was on. We have kept the landing light on. We haven't put on the strobe light just yet, but now we have. Yeah, very fickle this taxing. I don't remember it being, but I'm quite heavy, so could be that. Oh yeah, we're taxiing way too fast, like 30 knots with this tiny plane. That's very kind of unstable. Strobe light, cautions, runway and heading. I guess we have checked that somewhat. And let's have a quick look here to our right. We have some Air Canada wide body landing, maybe an A330. Okay, after takeoff gonna be the next one. That's when we get on the yaw dampener, etc. Maybe you keep these boosts on. Maybe that's just the way it is. Not sure how correct this oh, let me see. Did that one go down? Yeah, not sure how correct it is actually, this checklist, but maybe it is correct. Skyways 4003, ready for takeoff. Okay, it's thinking.
Skyways 4003, this is Vancouver ground on 127.15, go ahead.
God damn. Let's try again.
Ground. Skyways 4003 ready for departure.
Skyways 4003, contact Vancouver Tower on 125.2.
And do you normally put both of these
Tower
on?
125.2.
Or do you only put one of them?
4003.
Maybe you do both. Okay, we got the tower handover. Skyways 4003, ready for takeoff. Wait. Did we get the right? No, we weren't put on the right frequency. That's the problem. Now it should go.
Tower. Skyways
Yeah,
4003
not the
ready
best
for
luck
departure.
thus far. What could be worse?
Skyways 4003
Okay.
winds are 09 at 6 knots.
Okay, we're cleared
Runway
to go.
08 right cleared for takeoff, squawk 3640.
Okay, temperature limits on
Runway
takeoff.
08 right cleared for takeoff.
Let me see what they're
Squawking
saying.
3640
750
Skyways
Celsius.
4003.
So there are some limits. We don't want to push it too much. Okay, so we gotta be a bit careful with the torque. The torque limit's 42.5 psi, and that's also the continuous limit. Okay, so I've definitely gone way above that before, I think, when I've had some issues with this, with the engine shutting down on me. Let me see. And we even have structural ice buildup. Look at this one. You have some settings here. Actually, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know this. Okay. Let's get going then. I think we can start our flight. We didn't get any specific how we should fly this, and considering how it's been handled during my last few flights, I'm gonna assume we just get a direct to IVR, and that's, I think, how I'm gonna fly this one. So we'll actually remove the vectors, and that will give us a clear turning point. The funny part is that this one is, or funny and funny, the weird part is this one is a bit off. I am wondering if it's using the wrong runway. 08 left, and we're doing 08 right. Look at that. So if I go here and change, so select departure, we're doing the right one, we'll load that one, I'll remove the vectors. Now it looks much better, I would say. But let's keep it like this so we can see something. And let's start pushing down with the power lever. Okay, we don't want to go too much on the torque. But don't you need more for takeoff? Maybe you don't. Look at that, the airspeed is increasing pretty quickly, even with the relatively, within quotations, low torque. So it looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna start pulling back on the yoke. There we go. Gonna trim it a bit. And the interesting part is, of course, we don't have any gear lever, so no gears to pull up. But one thing we will do is adjust a bit the climb rate, because I want to increase our speed just a tiny bit. And let's add a bit more torque pressure. And let's get rid of that flap setting. Just gonna make sure it's going to 0, which it looks to be going. So that's good. Let's be a bit careful with the... Okay, so far so good. The nav, we can put that on. I think in order for this to work, we need to do the CDI, so we get the GPS one. Okay, we should turn right here. Actually didn't check those settings at all. So flaps are up, auto feather should go off. Let's actually have
Skyways for 003, turn right to heading
auto
180,
feather
direct
off.
to Vancouver VOR. Contact Vancouver
need to turn a
departure
bit
on
more.
126.12.
Turn right to heading 180, then direct to Vancouver VOR.
Oh,
Departure on 126.12. Skyways
look at that. They actually did give us
4003.
vectors, so it's a bit different. Sometimes they don't seem to do that, sometimes they do.
Departure
Can we
Skyways 4003.
trim this aircraft?
Climbing to 6,000
Okay, now
feet.
it seems to have effect.
Skyways 4003, this is Vancouver
Climb
departure,
power
go ahead.
set. Nose wheel steering centered. Yaw dampener, yeah, let's get that on. That's gonna help quite a bit. Let's follow these signs. Oh yeah, I totally didn't think of that. Landing lights off. Okay, I think most things are now somewhat aligned. Let's manually fly this for a while, just for the fun of it. But yeah, flies pretty nicely. We need to get a thumbnail picture as well, totally forgot about that. It's about 1 hour and 30 minutes to go, so we still have quite a bit of flying left to do. So far so good. No rain. No ice. Let me check though, what's the current weather? It could be quite close to it, right? Ah, 12 degrees, there's not gonna be ice. At least not yet. Let's put that on the, so it follows. I think we can actually connect that. Or no, we can't. You can change that in the settings though, so this one is controlled by the nav when it's selected. Okay, let's trim down again a bit more. So far it's looking okay. Yeah, maybe the trim is still a bit off. Yeah, we're coming up on 6,000.
Skyways 4003, climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
Okay,
Contact
that's our
Vancouver
cruising
Centre
altitude.
125.95.
Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Center on 125.95. Skyways 4003.
Yeah, it does look like we have the PBR actually. Looking pretty nice. Okay, let's see, gonna trim down. And
Center
pitch down.
Skyways 4003. Climbing to 9,000 feet.
Climbing to 9,000 feet.
Skyways 4003, this is Vancouver Centre, go ahead.
Still looking pretty good. Okay. Maybe we're climbing still a bit fast. Let's see if we can decrease our ascent rate. We might not get out of this cloud layer at all, so that will make for an interesting flight. If this just continues for all of it. I mean, if the weather is the same at the departure and arrival and the weather doesn't change, I mean, technically it will appear better with the volumetric ones, because one of the problems with the volumetric is if you have changing weather, right? And it kind of jumps out from this, how would you say, this kind of overcast into a non-overcast. Okay, 7,000. I'll continue trimming a bit down. We're still doing this manually. Look at this beauty. Yeah, it's a very kind of I would say fun aircraft to fly, in the sense that it reminds me, or maybe the Thrun, the Kodiak reminds me of this one, but kind of similar, right? In the sense that it's kind of short takeoff, a STOL kind of aircraft, where you can do these kind of fun short hops. This one looks very nice actually. I like the livery as well, the Aurora one. Okay, we're coming up on 9,000, so what I want to try is to put on the autopilot. And now that's also a question on its own. Oh, and let's try to focus also on controlling the aircraft. Keep it somewhat steady. I do seem to not do that too well. There we go. So we're putting the autopilot on. And let me see, can we adjust the trim setting at all? Or is it kind of just gonna take us? Okay, nav is captured, so it does look like we're gonna follow it. Let's see. Actually, we wanna go on 9,000, so I'm gonna put that as... Let me see, now we're getting some trim in motion, because it's gonna try to stabilize it, so we're gonna have to descend a bit. Let's see how it does that. Okay, we are descending. Tiny amounts though. And hey, we are finally above the cloud layer. But barely. We're basically gonna be flying in and out of it. But just to not forget, let's get a picture so we have something, so we don't have to stress about that. It's not gonna be our finest one, but it will do. We have a nice viewpoint that we can use. I think this one might be the nicest we have. So maybe we can do some... It's a bit hard because it kind of goes into the fuselage. Yeah, there's really no really good viewpoint with these tiny ones. I think this is the best we'll get. Okay, let's just double check the checklist. Next one is descent, and then we have approach, after landing, etc. So nothing specific. But I'm gonna check actually DHC-6 fuel pumps. Not finding anything interesting. But it does seem like we're following here the flight plans, that's good. Which means we can just continue like this for the next 55 minutes, give or take. I think in terms of thrust, etc., it's all looking good. We're flying on a pretty good airspeed. Don't think we want to push it further than this. Fuel quantity is looking okay. What about the inside viewpoints? Do we have any good ones? Yeah, some nice ones. Yeah, parking brake. Yeah, here we have the trim one. Yeah, here we can see the takeoff where we should have been, which it did automatically for us. We have the battery temperature. I think that should be fine. This is a pretty nice view from the back here. No toilet though, that would be a bit stressful. But I assume the flights you take with these aircraft aren't that long. Okay, so yeah, so far so good. I don't think there's anything we need to monitor here. I mean, apart if the engine dies on us, but I assume it won't. One thing we can set though, so we don't forget, is the decision height. It's gonna be 216, so 220 should be a good enough. The localizer itself, 241 is the course. So this one we can already put to 241, just so we have that prepped. terms of the localizer, that's 187. We can activate that just so we have it ready. 18. And where is that one? This is this is the second one. I'm gonna put that one as well to 187. But oh well, let's see. Good. So I think it's all looking pretty good. Nothing to see up here in the front. I'll be back in maybe 20 minutes, I think. And I'll leave you to enjoy. Hopefully we get some nice views if the clouds disappear, but we shall see. But yeah, I'll be back for the approach, so until then.
Flight 499, 193, climbing 230.
Vector flight 499, center, Roger, flight level 210, your direct to Butte.
Reaching flight level 210, direct to Butte, Frontier flight 499.
Actually, Frontier 499, go direct to Butte now, sir.
Right, direct to Butte now, Frontier flight 499. Confirm flight Frontier flight 499 for still up to flight level 230.
Affirmative, flight level 230.
230, thanks, Frontier flight 499. say the frequency again for 683.
United 683, contact center 133.2, 3320.
3320, 683, good day.
Frontier 499, climbing change, level 320.
Level 320, Frontier Flight 499.
Delta 2744, contact center 126.75, have a good day.
675, Delta 2744, see ya.
Southwest 74, or 2174, climbing change, level 320, 32.
320, approach line 76.
United 439, contact center now 1133.2, 3320, good day.
33.2, first center, United 439.
Frontier 499, contact no 126.7, have a good day.
126.87, Frontier Flight 499.
Good evening, Reach 19730, deviation direct course for the weather, enable direct on you.
Reach 197,
Delta 401.
401, go ahead.
Yeah, we're level at 310 with a deviate level north.
Level 401, you can lock the course is approved. You can expect nothing down the road with Cleveland on next frequency.
Alright, thank you. Deviate left Delta 401.
Center United 118, 22.5 for flight level 310, request direct to Victor Bravo 0. United 118 center, clear direct to Victor Bravo 0. Direct to Victor Bravo 0, United 118, thanks.
Request direct to call.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Delta 1763.
Request what?
Direct to EOS
Delta 1763, clear direct to Beacon.
Skyways for 003, contact Seattle Center on 125.1.
Center on 125.1, Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003, level at 9,100 feet.
Skyways for 003, this is Seattle Center, go ahead.
American 11 Level, we are direct to said 1101. We originally started heading to the right. I think we're gonna go to the left. It looks like a better track for us. If that's okay.
That's more than fine. Very easy and necessary. Fine. Later, I mean, at the end of the day, looks like we're just to the right. A little bit better than we are right now. So, what do you think?
Yeah, this is the next 80 miles. It looks like a bunch of cells there. We'll head off to the left here. Probably 30 or 40 miles. 050.
Okay, so what I'm showing is that there are 11 was solid spots. And, okay, confirming 1 o'clock in about 50 miles. The steers, I don't know what the stops are on that. Like, you have to watch for that on the 60. And then, past that, it does get worse. So, but the worst of it is what I'm showing is it takes 20 miles and then it lasts about 50 miles coming up.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we'll give this heading a shot here and look like we're most of it. There's a few that are probably up to around 4 or 5 0 foot that up foot area, but we're pretty good at this track right now.
Okay. Okay, what do you see? Contact center 136.42. You have a good day.
Say 12442.
136.42.
Alright, sorry about that. 13242, 9180.
Three 197, contact center 121.37, 2137. Have a good day.
137, reach 1972.
American 1111, contact center 126.47. Have a good day.
12647, America, number 9.
West 1101, contact center on 133.87. Have a good day.
387, southwest.
Southwest 3634, contact center 132.42. Have a good day.
30.
Skyways for 003 contact Seattle Center on 128.5.
Center on 128.5. Skyways 4003.
American 147, contact center.
Center Skyways 4003. Level at 9,100 feet.
Skyways 4003, this is Seattle Center, go ahead.
Center Skyway 4930, climb through 17.2 for flight level 230, 280 knots.
Skyway 4930, center runway reduced to 270 knots, existing Vegas.
270 knots now for Skyway 4930.
Skyway 4930, contact 125.72.
2572, Skyway 4930.
Correct.
Take shy 175, contact center 128.37. Three heavy, 14,500, climbing 17,280 knots, max.
Roller 243 heavy, center runway reduced normal speed, on an maintain level 230.
Level 230, normal speed, 43.
And Delta 1678, resume normal speed.
Normal speed, Delta 1678.
At 243, clear direct idle.
Thank you, forward, 243, direct idle.
Delta 5844, center 119.5.
119.5,
Skyways 4003, contact Seattle Center on 126.6.
Center on 126.6. Skyways 4003. Center Skyways 4003. Level at 9,100 feet.
Skyways 4003, this is Seattle Center, go ahead.
November Sierra 1 Delta Victor, contact center 125.8.
258, see what's up.
And Delta Victor 83, now I'm my system started until 14, but I'm watching down to 11, and there's not anything down there. It might be the Boeing 73, which now he's direct wildly off. That means a little bit. If you want a vector off course, just let me know.
No, we just hit one big bump, so we were just curious, that's all.
Okay, roger that, not a problem. Southwest 3926, contact center 119.95, that's your next.
1995, similar date to 3926.
For now, I will have normalcy in about 3 minutes. Southwest 2993, but I run to the the economic to arrival between 15,000. They send a altimeter 780.
Okay guys, as the captain is back, let's see where we are at. We are still flying in this overcast, so I guess that's what we're working with. Question is, of course, has the altimeter changed? 2955. Minor change. Oof, look at this. It's getting quite close. Should be fine. But theoretically there is a risk, right? Because it's broken at 500 feet, so we're getting quite close with the minimums. But in terms of everything else, it's looking fairly fine. But yeah, no nice views. It's a bit of a shame in that sense, because it's kind of beautiful flying around Seattle here when there's not an overcast. Maybe though we did see, it might be too far away to see some of these higher mountains. There should be something here. One of those, is the volcano or just an old, or maybe a volcano. I can't see anything on the horizon. Well, let's check actually if we get the here at the airport itself, if we zoom in on Bover or Buvaman. Let's see what info can we get. HQM. Sorry, that's VR. Sorry, here's the airport. Okay, visual. Maybe the 650 doesn't have the charts. Procedures, runways. It might be the 750. Okay, we're gonna start turning to the right now. It's very nice with the RSP GTN how it kind of integrates with the autopilot. As long as it's connected to the regular GPS, it's quite easy to get it to work as you want. We haven't gotten any clearance to descend. We're gonna use autopilot for most things, just to make sure that we don't end up in any unnecessary trouble or fall behind the aircraft. I think it's about 40 nautical miles now, maybe even less. 46 actually, so still a bit to go. In terms of our approach, something to keep in mind is missed approach is climb to the HQM vortex, the VR that I was showing earlier, so 2,500. The airport elevation is 18 feet, so quite low. And I'm gonna guess we're gonna be vectored from Ules, so that's probably gonna be a course of 196, something like that. Anything else we need to keep in mind for this approach? Nothing special. Or nothing specific rather. Approach course 241. We have that set. Trim was in motion there recently. I can set this one to 241 as well, just to make sure in case I by mistake select the wrong radio. Speed 170 knots. It should have increased a bit considering fuel burn, right? We are at least getting lighter, not heavier. How's the
Skyways
view?
4003,
Yeah,
expect
okay.
the ILS approach to runway 24 at Baumann Airport.
We have some unnecessary
Expect the
viewpoint.
ILS approach to runway 24.
This one is maybe a bit.
Skyways 4003.
Well, yeah, most viewpoints are pretty decent. They're at least showing certain views. I want to add one of these though. I think this is a nice view, the kind of GoPro view. Let me actually get the chase plane up so we can save this view. Throttle view. Yeah, okay, we don't need a throttle view, let's be honest about that. That's kind of
Skyways
unnecessary.
4003 descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Okay, so we got
Skyways
descent clearance
4003.
to 5,000 feet. Let's see how it works now. So if we're doing 5,000 feet, can you descend with an IAS? Yeah, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, we have an altitude. And we want to descend somewhat reasonably. How do we control our descent? And actually, let's have a look at the checklist. So descent checklist, fuel quantity, hydraulic pressure, all of that should be fine. Caution, de-icing. I don't think we have any issues with de-icing. No build-up of icing. Altimeters. Let's check those just to make sure. So it's gonna be 2904. So let's get that set already. Then we have approach, so that's signs and landing lights. I think one thing we never really touched were the actually pitot heat. That could have been dangerous, right? If we had had icing conditions, we could have lost our airspeed indicator. Okay, we're not descending really, so if we move that, can we force this bird? Let me see, can we get a descent? Yeah, we can get a vertical speed. Let's do 800. There we go. Or are we descending at all? That's... It looks like we are. No, it's trying to keep our altitude. Okay, let me decrease it to 5,000 feet. Now we're descending. What's the difference? 'Cause I was using the Logitech to select and then get us descending. It's like this one. Why doesn't it select this one? That's the weird. That's the hydraulic pump circuit breaker. So I guess we have one circuit breaker that works. And let's pull back on the speed. Let's increase a bit the vertical descent. Okay, 8,000 feet. We are gonna be in the cloud layer pretty shortly. Crab. I love the aircraft number, tail number. Crab, crab, crab. Let's put on the landing lights actually, just so we don't forget that, even though it's a bit early for the approach one. Before landing, nose wheel steering centered, yaw dampener off, so we need to remember yaw dampener, and we need to set the flaps. Question is, do we have anything in terms of what would you normally use? Flaps, but maybe we can just do full flaps to be on the safer side. It goes pretty high though. Is it 50 or 40? But yeah, pretty high number. Okay, we're coming down now.
Skyways 4003, you are 29 nautical miles northeast of the airport. Altimeter 2954, after Wonku descend and maintain 2,300 feet, cleared direct Lima Alpha Mike Bravo, then cleared for the ILS approach to runway 24 at Bauman Airport. No tower at Bauman Airport change to local traffic advisory frequency approved. Contact center on 128.3 when on the ground to cancel IFR.
Okay, let's check. So what we were
Altimeter
cleared to...
2954. After Wonku descend and maintain 2,300 feet. Cleared direct Lima Alpha Mike Bravo, then cleared for the ILS approach to runway 24 at Bauman Airport.
Okay, we got a direct
on
cleared
128.3 to cancel
to land.
IFR Skyways
So
4003.
what we'll do is actually remove this one
Skyways 4
and this
Altimeter
one.
10-54. Skies clear. Altimeter is 2954. Dew point 10.
And then we're gonna go
Skyways
direct
current
to land.
altimeter is 2956.
Grand Coulee Dam Airport Automated Weather Observation 855 local winds are calm.
Let's remember to do a
Visibility
direct.
10 miles. Skies clear. Temperature 12, dew point 10. Current altimeter is 2956. Arriving and departing runway 04. Grand Coulee Dam Airport Automated Weather Observation 855 local winds are calm. Visibility 10 miles. Skies clear. Temperature
Okay,
12,
still
dew
descending.
point 10.
The weather is
Current
not
altimeter is
looking the best.
2956. Arriving and departing runway 04.
Is this icing we're seeing?
Grand Coulee
Or
Dam
what's
Airport
this? Is this
Automated
the
Weather
light? Let me have a
Observation
look.
855 local winds
No
are
ice
calm.
buildup.
Visibility 10 miles. Skies clear. Temperature 12, dew point 10.
Can we
Current
adjust the
altimeter is
volume on
2956.
the...
Arriving and departing runway 04.
That's the radio power.
Grand Coulee Dam Airport Automated Weather Observation 8:55 local winds are calm. Visibility 10 miles. Skies clear. Temperature 12, dew point 10. Current altimeter is 2956. Arriving and departing runway 04.
Local advisory
Grand Coulee Dam Airport
frequency.
Automated Weather Observation 8:55 local winds are calm.
Let me see if I
Visibility 10 miles.
can shut it somehow.
04.
No, maybe not. God damn, we're Sika radio. That's
5 knots. Visibility 2 miles in mist.
Is there no radio that's totally yeah, here we go. We found silent radio. Okay, we're now trying to get onto the final, the lamb one. Okay, that's interesting. So it does try to follow that to capture it. We're still descending. I don't think there was any risks of any high terrain at these areas. There's some places with around 2,400, but I don't think anything on this route should be that high. It's south of the area we were cleared. Let's check though what the input on this one was in terms of... I mean, it's not saying anything specific. Let's check terrain. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it terrain-wise, we're gonna be fine. Pretty cool to have that terrain map. It does really help. Okay, 2,300. That's the altitude we wanna be at. Let's just get on the approach, and then we'll switch off the nav and get on the localizer instead. But yeah, look at this weather. Not the best day for flying. Okay, maybe we need to add a bit of torque, to be honest. I feel like we're at the risk of stalling with no flaps and almost at 100 knots. We have to go a bit lower, of course, to stall, but just want to be on the safe side. And that's lamb. So we are kinda getting there, very slowly though. We are getting onto the final approach. Let's check if it's raining. If we need to use our non-functional or our Vipers without any rain effects. Doesn't look like it. Here we can also see the localizer. And that means we're going, so you can get the arrow up or away from it, I think. So we're traveling towards it. Okay, there we go. We're getting on to final. Let's be prepared to switch over. Okay, come on. Maybe we're traveling a bit fast. Gonna lower our speed a bit. Yeah, and we're seeing here, this is not the localizer but the nav. It's coming closer. But what we'll wanna do is actually... maybe not quite yet, because we don't have the glide slope now that I think of it. Let me see, lamb. What about Nady? At Nady we wanna be at 2,100. So, what's the distance from Nady to? It's 6.3 nautical miles, so we're in no rush yet to engage the approach. But But we should of course start thinking about it. And we're just gonna check if our ACAR system is working. Yeah, we're flying. We've already flown 160 nautical miles. Okay, we're getting on it. Still seeing nothing on the glide slope. But let's be prepared. Nav 1 and Nav 2 are set. Our course arrows, or our course is correctly set. Yaw dampener, can we turn that off? Yeah, let's do that. Nose wheel steering centered. We do want to start setting the flaps. .5, still have some ways to go, so no rush. Soon enough, yeah, we'll have to set flaps, etc. I don't know what the frequency is for the airport. We have a Unicom though, maybe that's what we should use.
Bauman Traffic Skyways 4003 inbound at 2,300 feet.
Okay, we have the
landing
glide
runway
slope now
24,
activating. Let's do the default, or actually is it now doing GPS? Now it's doing the localizer, okay, interesting. What we do want to select though is the approach one. Okay, so the glide slope is armed. We're gonna start adding flaps. No gear to drop. Gonna add some more. I'm gonna throttle down a bit. We're on flaps 20 now. And let's see, do we start descending now? We're still climbing a bit to catch the glide slope. Now we are starting to descend. Going on flaps 30. Gonna add a bit of thrust. Okay, glide slope is captured. We are descending. Going flaps full. Okay, flaps. Let me right click just to see if it changes. Oh, yeah, no, we don't want to. That's a bit. But maybe 10 is the normal one. Prop levers, full forward. Okay, that's it for the landing checklist. Wait. Are we descending or what's happening here? Why are we not? Okay, I'm gonna have to do this manually, it seems. I need to have a look at that actually. Why wasn't it descending? We're gonna force it down quite a bit. We're not that after, but okay, come on, trim down. Okay, let's see now. Okay, we're coming down, so that's good. Maybe a bit crazy in terms of our descent rate, but we do want to capture the glide slope. So let me see, we should soon be back on the right pad. There we have the runway at least. But yeah, you can see we still have it's clouds, right? It's broken, so it's not perfect by any means. Okay, we're getting the glide slope back on track, so that's good. We need to trim it still. Still feel like we're not really getting it. Okay, let's see. We can stop descending like crazy at least. Yeah, okay, we're now below, which is not good. Actually worse than being a bit high. Specifically if you have any obstacles. Ooh. Yeah, look at that though. Thank God that we we broke through. We were way too low. Okay, there we go. We have the runway in sight. Let's try to not descend that quickly now. Let's just let it kind of caught up with us, or yeah, catch us. Okay, glide slope. It's looking fine. I think we'll do okay. Thank God it wasn't worse, the weather. That would have really screwed us over, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna throttle down a bit more. And you can see we have some like that little thingamabob, the mast. Could have made this dangerous, right? If we didn't get visual. And I guess we did minimums, so minimums continue. And I think this airport is actually free on Orbex, so if you want it, go and get it. It's a very nice one for these kind of general aviation flights. Okay, let's trim a bit. We're once again a bit below. But we do want to get down. Okay, let's see now. Yeah, we did. Maybe push it a bit, or float a bit too long, but that should be fine. We're able to stop relatively quickly with this one. Okay. We can add a bit of thrust. And we can turn right here on the next one. Let's get this to 0. Check the checklist. Flaps up. The bleed air should go off. De-ice was off. The landing lights we do want to turn off as well. Maybe it's not the Unicom one you use. Let me check actually if... Are you supposed to use another one to clear the landing? And look at those. That's funny. Buildings on. That could be due to either mesh or some other thing causing a discrepancy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't really bother me, even though it does look a bit ugly. Strobe lights off, transponder off, trim trabs reset for... yeah, you can see they're reset now, so that's good. Okay, let's taxi now too, and get our packs away. But yeah, I must say, flying, you know, airlines, let's say, I think yesterday I did a video with the FS Labs, and then going to fly with this one, it's a lot of fun. I think that's one of the great things with flight simulations. You can try different things and fly different types of aircraft and just, you know, experiment in a way. And I do also like in the sense that when you're flying like a virtual airline, you know, maybe you're bored at some of the routes they do, and then you know, you try some of their other aircrafts in their lineup, and you expand your horizons, right? You know, you do something that you wouldn't do otherwise. Because I could also, you know, not fly virtual airlines at all, but then, you know, it would just be, I think more of the same, you know. I don't think I would have ever done this flight that I did today, for example. So it has its pros and cons, to be honest. More pros, I would say, flying virtual airlines. But yeah, very cool effects with these chimneys, etc. This is Orbex kind of at its best, I would say. It works very well with Orbex True Earth for Washington, so that's nice. Not sure how the parking works here. I guess you can just park at one of these. But I mean, you have the coffee or the cafeteria here, and you know, some people. It always looks very kind of nice with these tinier ones. Much more, how would you say, friendly kind of looking, and less as a professional business thing. Which I guess in real life that's how it is, right? Flying GA. Okay, we'll just park here. It's not gonna be our best parking ever, but it will do. Parking brake set, radios, we'll put those all off. Power level to idle, we'll feather. Generators off, fuel levers off, boost pumps off. I'm just clicking the checklist items. Lights all off. Batteries off, DC master, control locks engaged. There we go. God damn. We did it. We are on post-flight on the blocks, so I'll just stop the recording, I think. Do I need to open one of the doors? I'm gonna open it just to be safe. I don't remember which. I think there's one of my. Okay, stop recording. We'll submit a PyRep. We'll close the Fly UK Skytrack app, the ACARS, and then we'll do our final thing, which will be to watch the landing. Yeah, here you can't see any flying buildings, so it's just, you know, different angles. Yeah, maybe not the best or, you know, the most crisp photo reel down here, but I'm not sure if I had to tweak this airport to work with True Earth, but even if I did, I still think it looks pretty nice. I guess this is some sort of guidance system for the landing. You have a very nice the boat here, little harbor. This looks very nice. I could imagine living this area. Yeah, here we're coming down. I think the approach was okay, apart from, you know, me not trusting the automatics and going manually. The landing was okay. We got down with the back wheel before the front one. Maybe we could have been a bit more stabilized, more on the center line, but okay. I won't be too harsh on myself. But yeah, that was it. Not our longest video, but not our shortest, almost 2 hours. If you have any questions or comments, areas of improvement, etc., I always like to hear from you guys, so feel free to leave comments. And other than that, thank you for watching, have a good rest of the day, and bye bye.